Randolph Corey had skeletons in his basement. 7, to be exact. This was not unusual, considering the nature of his business. Randolph Corey owned the small but successful medical supply warehouse, MedHouse, and distributed all varieties of medical equipment to clinics, hospitals, and universities in and around the town of Black Hollow, Oklahoma. Even the fact that these were human skeletons was not strange. Until recently, it was common for medical schools and even art classes to have a human skeleton suspended from a metal stand in the corner. However, as time passed, real skeletons were replaced with plaster or even plastic replicas. This left no home for the displaced skeletons, and many of them were placed in permanent storage, much like Randolph's 7 skeletons. So, despite how it may sound, having these 7 humans stripped of their flesh and suspended on metal racks with wheels was not strange at all. That is, until one of them decided to speak to Harpo Mott. "Hey, you," a woman's voice said from the dark. "What's your name?" Harpo had been digging through crates and boxes in a search for a case of the large bulbs that were used in the suspended lights in the warehouse above him, that he was certain were stored in the basement. Being preoccupied with his own thoughts, he did not hear the soft voice at first. He used his considerable strength to move a wooden crate filled with beakers and set it gently to the side. Puffs of dust drifted and swirled through the circle of light cast by the one naked bulb above him, making him wish he had brought a flashlight. It was almost too dark to see in some corners of the basement, and it could be pretty spooky down there in the dark. He had never been able to remember everything, though, and continued to search in the dark. "You're not ignoring me, are you?" the voice asked with a playful tone. "Huh?" Harpo turned and scratched at his thick beard. "What's your name?" asked the voice. The voice was soft and sweet. It was a woman's voice, but it didn't sound like the many young women that Harpo had seen running around the lakes in their swimsuits with their boyfriends that wear those visors, the same women that later would be getting felt up in the back of jeeps and trucks. This voice sounded matured. Not really in age, but in attitude. Harpo couldn't describe the voice any better than that. He pulled his battered ball cap off by the frayed bill and said, "Who's there?" "I'm Elizabeth," the voice from the shadow said. "What's your name? It's only fair that you tell me your name, now that you know mine." Harpo stepped from his own dark corner and squinted to make out the source of the voice across the room. Could David have been playing one of his practical jokes? Harpo was an easy target, and it wouldn't have been the first time. "I'm Harpo Mott. Where are you?" "I'm over here, to your right, behind those big crates." "Well, why don't you come out? I won't hurt you." "Oh, I know you won't, Harpo," she said with a voice that sounded like morning birds. "I've heard you talking to people, and you are a very sweet man. However, I am a little stuck. I'm what you could call disabled, I suppose. I can't really move under my own power." "Like in a wheelchair or something?" he asked. "Something like that," she replied. "Then how did you get down here?" "That's a very good question. I hear Randolph call you an idiot, but I know that is not true. That question could tell anyone that." "Here? How?" "This is an old building," she explained, "and his voice travels very well."